So here's the solution for what we're gonna do for cabin security. And we're hoping to get up there today, but probably be tomorrow. Sorry about that. We wanted to get up here earlier, but weather just hasn't permitted. It just dumped a bunch of snow up here in North Idaho the last couple of days. I was able to get this camera in. I set it up last night and it's worked. It seemed like it works great. So I'm going to show you how this thing works right now. So let's just say we're walking along in the woods. We're a trespassing person. We don't care about your rules, man. We're walking along here. I walk across, not knowing anything. Oh, and then I'm over here, wherever I am in the world, and I get a notification. Let's see. There's a Covert app, and it looks like I got a new notification right there. Let's see. Yep, there I am, walking along. It's hard for you to see this thing because it's not quite focusing in here. What's going on? So what happened there is, let me shut this thing off so it doesn't take any more pictures, because you are charged. Oh, here, let's blow the snow off of that thing. So check this out. Covert camera, wireless. Blow the snow off, shut it off, because I don't want it to take any more pictures. We know, we get it. But yeah, check this bad boy out right here, huh? Kind of hard to see, but yeah, we got the Covert AT&T wireless camera. We're going to mount that up at the cabin, so I should be able to get wireless pictures at any time. Anybody's up there trespassing, we'll get a picture. Now, what's cool about this thing is, and this is the AT&T one, it seems to be doing just fine down here in this valley. So I imagine, I'm gonna hope that it's going to do really well on top of the hill on the cabin, because we get reception up there pretty good usually. And just for small, short pictures, shouldn't be an issue. But what we're going to do is mount this on the side of the cabin, kind of at an angle down. There's two mounting points on this. I'll show you a little more detail later how this thing works. But it's got this. Let me turn it on setup. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. It's got a 2-inch screen in there that comes on. You can actually live. It's live right now. So it's really cool. You can set up and see if your network's coming up. Make your adjustments on your antenna. And then what's cool about this camera is you can set it up live screen and you can see exactly where it's pointing before you walk away from it. So once you set it up and we go home for the winter, it's like, if you have it in the wrong spot, that's, too bad. But you can't see this probably on the camera, but like my hand's moving on there, I can see it live. So, and it's picking up an AT&T 4G network down here. So it seems to work really good. Honestly, guys, the setup for this thing took about, 10 minutes. It was super fast. Comes with its own SIM card right here. I mean, it's really phenomenal. I mean, you can set this thing up really quick. And, the true test is going to be how long, those ears move around, as how long it stays reliable and works up there. So I'm going to have it, I'm not going to mount it on a tree. I'm going to mount it on the cabin, so it should be a little bit, out of the weather, kind of up under the eaves and stuff. So still, there's I think there's like a 2-year warranty on these things. And again, Covert, like I said before, I've had really good luck with them. They seem to really take care of the products and make sure they're good, even the old ones. So I'm pretty confident in the thing, and we'll see how it does on the cabin. I'm really excited to be able to go home and, see the activity. And you can also, from your iPhone, the app, you can force it to take a picture. So if you're just curious as to if the battery life's good or what the temperature is and stuff, you can actually force it to take a picture wherever you are at any time. Just wait, it takes 5-10 seconds and you'll get a picture back. The other thing we're going to do, and this is kind of part of this whole, just that one trespasser's kind of gotten us thinking a lot about cabin security and how we're going to manage that, as things grow. There's some other news that's going on up there. I'll cover it later, and I have a feeling it might be somewhat related to this incident, though we can't prove anything yet. With a camera, we will be able to. See, now that we have a a solar panel system up there, it makes it a lot easier because we can do things like, you know, we can leave things on. We can put electronic devices, cameras, security systems up there. So what the cool thing about this unit over here, this Covert Cam, is it has an external input. So you can put rechargeable batteries into it, and then you can buy their solar panel. Well, I wrote them a message, and I'm still waiting to hear back. I'm guessing it's going to be okay. But what you can do is put rechargeable batteries in there, and then what we're going to do is get this patch cable that will plug right into our batteries in the cabin, right? So we're going to use the cabin power to charge this thing up, and you know, therefore those panels are going to be good to go all winter and all summer. They're going to be on all the time, and something as small as this won't take any time to charge up. So that solar charger, I noticed, has a 12-volt load center on it that I'm going to hook into a little fuse box, and on one of those fuses I'm going to put the security camera. So in theory, we can, AT&T allows you 1,000, well, you can get as many pictures as you want. We have the 1,000 plan for $5 a month, and it's a $5 service charge, so it's about it's $6 service charge, so it's $11 a month for 1,000 pictures. You can go up from there, do whatever you want. Just costs you a couple more bucks. Or you can do 5-second videos. I think that's included in their plan. Well, with the videos, it's going to wear down the battery really quick. But if we have this thing plugged into our cabin, it'll never run down. So I'm going to go, you know, when we come back in the spring, I'm going to have that patch cord. If this thing works, assuming it works, I'm going to assume that everything's going to work fine. We're going to plug that patch cord into the solar battery system, and then we'll have video on demand. So and that's included in those things. If it's the only downside with video is that it does take a little longer to receive. So if you have somebody wandering around up there triggering your video, it may take 10, 15, it may take 30 seconds to load, and you'll get the message. But honestly, guys, these things are not it's not something I'm going to be watching 24/7. If there's an alert, there's a deer up there or something, I'll check it periodically, and if I see somebody, I'll send the picture to my neighbors up there, and we all have internet and phones, and so we can send each other, hey, do you know who this person is? Oh yeah, that was just so and so checking the tax guy or whatever, checking the stuff. So that's a possibility. We had this happen before where we had trail cams and somebody was up there. They just bought some property next door. They were just checking out the area. They spotted the camera, and on the camera they hightailed it out of there. So trail cams and stuff work. My hope is that they see this one with a big antenna on the side of the cabin, and they hightail it out of there before they do any damage or steal anything from the property or the cabin. So usually people don't like to have their picture taken, even if they don't know. Even if they could just take the camera. What we've seen is people just get out of there. They don't like to have their, because where there's one camera, there's more cameras, and that's how it works. And that's true with us. This is going to be there's going to be like 4 cameras up there, I believe, hidden throughout the woods. And so you might get caught on one and not know about the other one. So the other thing that Covert does is, for about $20, you can buy a dummy camera that looks just like their functioning ones. And I really wish they'd make a dummy camera that looked like with antennas, because people don't like those at all. So I might get a couple more of those and just kind of put those in real obvious places, and if they get stolen, that's kind of a warning. So this is the beginning of our, this sort of kicked into high gear our cabin security plan, and it's necessary. We've been talking about this I've talked about getting a wireless camera now for several years, but the technology, honestly, guys, just wasn't there. For about $320, you can get yourself a wireless camera. It's expensive, guys. It's super expensive. I didn't really want to spend the money right now. Honestly, we had a lot of other stuff to spend money on, but I think it's going to be worth it for peace of mind, just to kind of say, hey, look, we're doing all we can. We don't keep anything valuable in the cabin, but hey, I don't really want somebody to come up and busting out windows. And honestly, it's a small town. If you get somebody on video or on camera, within about 10 minutes, you're going to know who it is, and then we'll file charges. I mean, here's the thing. Let me explain to you something else. About Idaho law. In the last year, they just changed their trespassing laws. very much more strict than they were a year or two ago. You go past somebody's sign up here that says no trespassing, which we have everywhere on the property. It's a $300 or a $500 fine for your first offense. That's non-criminal offense. That's you just walking into their property. So, and if they catch you doing it, that's $300. That's up from, I think, 30 or 50. I think it was, and that's only if, and if you don't want to press charges, that's up to you. But people take it really seriously up here, because I think what's happening is you're getting a lot of, liberal staters coming up here, and they're busting in saying, hey, this is my, I can walk on here if I want. And that's kind of their attitude. So they just up the game, guys. If it's a criminal offense and you steal something, you're talking $1,500 in jail time. If you're hunting, it's $1,000 at minimum. Well, if you want to press charges, but the state will take away your your hunting license for up to a year, and then there's a fee on top of that, and that's your first offense. And I think the first offense is still about $1,000. So, and you're not required. So the previous law said you had to post signs every 660 feet, which we knew all that, and we did more than that. We posted signs: no trespassing, no hunting, you're on private property, etc. We put them all over the place. You're not required to do that anymore. You cross a gate that has a no trespassing sign up here, and that's all you need. You don't need to put them everywhere. You need to understand where, as a person walking around on somebody's property or out in the woods in Idaho, it's your responsibility to understand where you are. So it's not the homeowner's or the property owner's responsibility really anymore, other than just we have to note other than we have to tell you at the gates of the perimeter, pretty much, where the property line starts and ends. So just be aware, guys, if you come up here, you want to move up here, you want to have some property up here, you got to respect people's private property. It's a big deal. They're taking it much more seriously. And of course, there's the other side of the argument. It's like, well, it's, what if you accidentally step on to somebody's land while going to national forest land? Well, that's illegal. You've got to respect it. Get permission from the landowner. If honestly, and here's my thinking. If I know who you are, and you want to cross country ski on our property, I don't care. I really don't care. You want to snowshoe up there, I might say, hey, stay away from the cabin or that area, but you can walk. If I know who you are, I'm more than happy to have you come on there just to see if everything's okay. And we have neighbors up there who I'm like, I tell them, hey, you go on there anytime you want and check it out, and they'll text me and say, I heard something, let's go check it out. So, no, I don't care if I know who you are. If you walk in and I don't know who you are, I do have a problem with that. So Idaho law now backs up the property owners more than it ever has. So, I've heard, you go onto some forums and it's just, people come in from Oregon or California, they're like, oh, we should be able to walk up here wherever we want. Well, you shouldn't. If people own it, it's theirs. My theory on, let me tell you my overall theory on, let me get on a soapbox here for a second. Let me tell you my overall theory on land. Land is never given up freely, ever. Okay, you either buy it, purchase it, barter for it, trade for it, or you fight for it. And there's never been any other exceptions in this world. You can say, whatever, it's everybody's land. It's not everybody's land. What about public land? Isn't that everybody's land? No, it's the government's land. If you violate laws on public land, the government will fine you and take care of that problem. They'll send out the BLM, the FBI, the CIA, whatever they need to do to stop your activity on there. It's their land, and it's up to political process to see who gets to use that land. So no, it's not your land and my land. That's a different argument for a different day. But what the point is that when you come to this state and this area, and especially on our property, you got to respect it. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I hope you guys are having a good day. If we get up to the cabin, I'll show you how we're going to install this camera. If we don't today, we'll get it done tomorrow. So I hope you guys are having a good little break and get ready for the next year. It's going to be a good one on this channel. So we'll talk to you guys later.